What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Plaid Couch Podcast. Today, I'm joined by...
Matty Ice.
I'm tagging.
And I'm Jaylene. So, how's everybody doing this week?
Oh, fancy.
Anything new?
I don't know if I said this.
Fancy?
Doing good.
I don't know if I said this the last podcast. You know how it's been like getting super cold and then back up to normal temperatures outside? Like back and forth?
Yes.
It caused my truck windshield to crack.
Nice.
So, one day...
Sounds like your truck is a bitch.
It's starting to get to the end of its, like, where I'm making payments, and then after that, it's no longer covered by the dealership.
Oh, like your warranty on it?
Yeah. After that, it's insurance. Luckily, it wasn't, like, a super thick crack or anything like that. It was just one of those where it went across my windshield, and I bought some epoxy, and I tell you what, though, that wouldn't have happened to the S10.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. I can't say much either, Tegan, because just yesterday I had my brake pad and rotor got all fucked up and the brake line just blew not too long ago. Luckily, I was already at my mom's and wasn't going like 50 miles an hour down the road when it happened. But my car, like, it just started beeping and a bunch of these lights came on. I'm like, oh shit, that's not good. And then when I pressed on the brake, it was like nothing was there. Like, oh, well, that kind of sucks.
Uh-oh.
I've been poor for like the last 2 weeks. Otherwise, I would have gotten it fixed sooner. I thought it would last a little longer, but too little, too late on my part.
Yeah. That's the thing with vehicles. You're like, if I just make it here, and then it finally is just like, no more.
You'll be okay.
Like,
Yeah.
like going back to the S10, we had a friend trip planned, and it got to a point where no one wanted to ride with me because no one thought the S10 would make the trip. And
Yeah.
that was like
I
3
remember
years in a row.
specifically telling you. I specifically told you that because I drove the other vehicle. I'm like, if I pass you and you're on the side of the highway, I'm not stopping. Like, you're on your own. But somehow it made it.
It always
there and
did.
back.
Well, I mean, rest in peace that truck. It went through the ringer
R.I.P.
with a lot of
S10.
stuff. Like, my brother...
I'm surprised you had that truck as long as you did, honestly.
Honestly, if it didn't have as many issues, because even when I bought it, it had issues, especially with the brakes. I probably would still have kept it as like I need to haul some junk around, just throw it in the S10. But it went through the ringer. My brother took it to college one time during Halloween, and someone smashed a giant pumpkin on the roof of it, so it had a little indent for a while. I think the next year there was a bad storm and wind and all that, causing a tree branch to fall on it, and
I remember that.
completely destroyed it. We had to drive it to the mechanic we were going to get all that work done, and I basically had to hold the door shut while driving it crooked. And then
God.
when I finally got it back from the dealership, I was so excited to have it. I was like, oh, I'm taking the dirt roads and all this in a town like I wasn't familiar with at all. So I almost like drove into a field because I didn't expect a curve to pop up.
Man, and you say I'm a bad driver.
I stayed on the road.
I've only gone off the road a couple times. It's fine. We don't need to get into all that. I would rather we not for
Yeah,
my
that's
mental
fine.
stability.
Oh, not.
Let's not do
It's a great
that.
story.
I already cried once today. I don't need to. I don't need
Why'd you
to
cry, Jaylene?
make it multiple crying times. Listen, we're just turning into a Marvel podcast, I believe. But I did rewatch Infinity War today because I'm still on my Marvel rewatch, and I've been putting off Infinity War because I don't want to run out of the good movies. And yeah, Infinity War still makes me cry. What can I say? Actually, I texted you guys earlier because when I was watching it, my Wi-Fi cut out at the very end. Spoiler if you haven't seen Infinity War. I think I've already talked about this scene on this channel before. But right
Oh yeah.
before Peter Parker gets dusted, he just goes, "Mr. Stark," and then my Wi-Fi cut out, and my Disney Plus was like, "Hey, actually, you're not connected to the internet." And I did scream just a little bit, not to be too dramatic. And then when the Wi-Fi came back on, I'm like, "It'll be fine. It'll be fine," because I already had that emotional release, right? And then I hit play when the Wi-Fi was back on, and then I still cried. So
Oh my
You know what you
gosh.
should have
When are you
done?
gonna
yeah,
become numb?
I. That's why I love Marvel movies so much. I don't become numb to them, and it just I care too much, especially when you do a big rewatch like this, Matthew. Like I've rewatched 20 movies at this point. Like the build-up's there. It's not like I just decided to put on Infinity War one day and watch Peter Parker get dusted. It was like I watched Spider-Man Homecoming like 3 weeks ago. Like it's still fresh in my brain. So yeah, that's that's where I'm at. I'm
Tear
gonna need to
rolling
take a
down her
week
cheek.
off. I need to take a week off from everything when I rewatch Endgame, I'm afraid. But we'll worry about that when I get
Yeah,
to it.
just give us a heads up.
Yeah, I will text the group chat and let you know when it's time to watch Endgame. So, because Infinity War makes me cry just a little bit. There's usually two scenes that really get me, but like Endgame, I can't. I can't deal with Endgame. It's just too much. So,
Jaylene, you've
yeah,
probably seen the interview where Tom Holland was told it was a wedding instead of
yeah.
Tony's
They told a
funeral.
lot of people it was a wedding.
So
Yeah.
I think he said there's
So.
some scenes in the movies where he's smiling at during that because he thought it was a wedding.
Yeah. He said he didn't really have like he didn't question it all until he finally was like, "Wait, where's Robert? Where's Robert Downey?
Hmm.
Where's Downey at?"
Honestly, we need
But
to start doing that
I say
to
like
Matthew with stuff we shoot.
that's not a bad idea. He is kind of like the Tom Holland with spoilers.
Mr.
What?
I
Loose
remember
Lips.
I had to bleep you in a podcast one time because you spoiled an MPL video, and I was like, "That's not coming out for a month. I gotta bleep that." So yeah, one of my favorite stories of like the filming of Infinity War and Endgame is like you know how all the fake scripts were going around at
Hmm.
that time? Like most of the cast did not have a real script. Tom Holland somehow got his fingers on one of the real scripts and he started reading it and was like, "Oh, Spider-Man in space? This is a fake script." And then just stopped reading it. And like, "Oh no, that was actually the real one." So, yeah,
Oh my goodness, I remember that video going around.
I know too much Avengers lore. I'm so sorry. It's probably a good thing we did my first ever Ask Me Anything
Hmm.
when I was like kind of over the MCU,
Yeah.
because now it would not be fun because I know too much now. It's
Well,
my brain has a refresh ever since Marvel Rivals came out.
it probably
She's
won't be
descended.
season 2 of Ask Me Anything, but I mean, we've already talked about going back to some of these subjects because there's so much lore and stuff involved with them. Like Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts, I didn't even scratch the surface. I know that. And I don't
we're gonna
know.
have Matthew ask us the questions on Kingdom Hearts.
Like, every source material I found just made me more confused. And I know it's just one of those I will eventually just have to play the games to understand. But it was just like every time I looked something up, it was like, oh yeah, this thing and then this thing. I was like, well, what's this new thing they're talking about? So I just kept having to dig
That's
and
the
find
best part.
stuff.
You don't know.
It's like, who's this character and why are they being brought up? Yeah, Marvel.
Yeah, Burguy the other day said that he's thinking about playing Kingdom Hearts again, giving it another shot. But he was a couple Coronas in when he said that,
Yeah.
so let's not hold it against him.
Because
he
I don't
did
think
say
he
that.
will.
didn't he try playing it when, Maddie, when you and he lived together?
Yeah, I think he did try it. I don't know why he stopped.
I
don't remember the reason.
If I remember, he just got
I could think of a
frustrated
couple.
and was like, "This game is dumb."
That's kind of what I was thinking.
That's so frustrating about an anime boy going through Disney worlds.
It's like he was watching me play The Last of Us one time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I tried playing this game before, but got stuck at this part, and it was very early on." And that was the part I was on, and I was like,
Poor Bert.
I was like, well, you just go through here. He's like, I didn't even see that. I just gave up, and it's like, you didn't see this
Sounds like me.
open, like, building right here? He's like, nah.
It sounds like me playing any video game ever.
Where's my teammates at? Jaylene, you can see all of us through the wall.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah. Do we have anything crazy for our new weekly segment?
I did think of
what Jaylene says in Marvel Rivals.
I didn't think I had one. But I remember there was one I said last night that I didn't think it was that weird, but you and Burguy caught it right away.
What did Jaylene say in Marvel Rivals today?
Where Burguy said, Jaylene, a Moon Knight behind you. And my response was, yeah, I felt him. I felt the Moon Knight behind me. So, there you go. There's your... I didn't even mean it like that, but he was hitting me. I was like getting back shots from the Moon Knight. So there's your fucked up Marvel Rivals segment of the week. I really was thinking, this morning, I was like racking my brain because it's like I knew we had a podcast coming up, and it's like I don't think I have a Rivals segment, and then I remembered that happened last night.
Yeah, I was trying to remember everything
go.
you said, but I was like, I'm still just so stunned by your previous comments that a lot of them have just been so vanilla compared to what you've said before.
You can't really get any worse than getting double penetrated by Captain America and Thor. That's about as crazy as it's gonna get, I'm afraid. So maybe we'll get through like the whole roster of characters as this podcast keeps going on and we continue this segment. And I keep getting fucked by every single fucking incel in the game.
I can't wait till this segment has like an official like logo and transition in and out.
What's gonna be the logo? In and out.
Whoa.
Like the burger place.
That'll be like we had our best of 2024 video that came out early this year, or like I don't know. It was like early this year, right?
It was the first video of 2025.
Like to celebrate the new year. Okay. I'll have one next year where it would be like Jaylene's fucked up Marvel Rivals comments compilation. So somebody keep the spreadsheet. We've got what? Cap, Thor, Moon Knight, and Bucky. Yeah. So
my favorite is when Jaylene is playing Bucky or a different character and getting beat up by another Bucky, and she just goes, "Bucky."
I did that. No, see, I did that when I was playing Black Widow, and there was a Bucky on the other team that was like kicking my ass, and I was just like, Bucky.
Jaylene has just been so
It was
down
kinda cute
bad.
then.
I didn't know you
lately.
wanted me like that, Bucky.
But when I play Bucky, I hate when another Bucky kills me. I cannot lose to another Bucky. It actually infuriates me, and I'm not down bad for Bucky Barnes. It just
You're right. You're not down bad. You're down horrendous because holy cow.
I'm just excited for the new Thunderbolts movie, and I like playing him in Marvel Rivals. I can't help it. I'm just a woman.
Huh?
Yeah.
Maddie, I'm sure if you or I go to Jaylene's house right now, she has a notebook with Bucky Barnes plus Jaylene Burguy forever.
Do not. I do not. Do not.
Jaylene
She's
Barnes.
I will
already
say-
written a
Jaylene
novel
Barnes.
AI.
I will say, I did talk to you guys about this yesterday though, but I did comment on a Sebastian Stan thirst trap on TikTok, which I never do. First off, I hardly ever comment on TikToks. I usually just kind of like them and move on. But I was just, it wasn't anything bad, but I was just like, fuck it, you know? I get it. And I've got like 500 likes just on my comment, and I was like,
Oh shit!
it ain't just me. So, yeah.
Didn't you get called freaky too?
Some girl told me that I reeked of freak. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So, I'm just excited for the Thunderbolts movie.
Jaylene, if they made that comment though, you obviously said something weird.
No, it was not weird. It
All right,
wasn't
then
weird.
share it with the podcast. What'd you say?
It was not weird. Go find
I
it.
think it was
It's
weird,
on-
Pagan. I think
It's
it was
on
weird.
TikTok. Go find it. It's really not that weird. I kind of left it like open-ended so it could be taken out of context. But surface level, it really is very mild. But then if you really read into it, it's like, it's just a little freaky. But it's not bad. It's like if my boss saw it, like she would just not think anything of it and then just keep scrolling. You know? It's really not bad, I promise. I'll tell you after what it was.
Why? What's the fun in that? Share it with the class.
It's
no,
fine.
it's fine. My mom watches these. She already probably is already gonna disown me. She is behind on the podcast though, so that is a good thing.
Maybe she can skip this
She,
one.
I don't think she's aware of the new segment. That's how behind she is in the podcast. So I'm sure I'll get a phone call when she gets to the new segment that we've added. I'm sure I will get a phone call. So, yeah. I'm really excited for the Thunderbolts movie.
And see, your gamer talk, like, Maddie will yell every now and again. And then I just get quiet, so it's a nice... And then Drunk guy gets sassy.
Oh, he gets real sassy. We were playing last night,
And he was looking for
everybody,
a reason to
like,
be sassy.
everybody would pick DPS except for Tegan would play tank, and then like we usually have 2 extra people, like randos, join us to complete our team, and like one of them would pick healer, and Burguy'd put in the chat like, single the other one out and be like, if you ask nicely, I'll switch to Luna. It's like, god damn, Burguy, leave him alone. He reported somebody last night for like just standing in our
Yeah, it was Wolfsbane.
what was it? No, there was somebody else later in the night too he reported. I thought. And because he was like, if he was actually trying and playing like shit, that'd been one thing. But he wasn't even trying. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Fair, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, Burger gets a little bit of an attitude when he's drinking and playing Rivals. It's fun.
that Overwatch player in him.
That was another thing.
I mean, fair point.
that was another thing I kept hearing last night, where it was just like, Jaylene, I've got over 300 hours with Mercy and Overwatch, and I was like, okay, and the fuck does that have to do with our current situation now?
Yeah, like let me tell you, when
I need to get.
you need to get what, Maddie?
I need to get some alcohol in the house next time we play together. Because when I had mead the last time we played together, drunk, that was a lot of fun.
See, last time I only had like a bottle of wine in my house, and that was awful because wine is the one thing where I wake up with a really bad headache no matter like how much I drink of it.
See, that night I wasn't drinking, but last night I was. To date this podcast, yesterday was Valentine's Day. Which, were we all up way too late playing Rivals on Valentine's Day? Yes, we were, but fuck you. But I did crack open a bottle of wine to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Love you. Forget
Yeah,
what Jaylene said. Love you.
Send
So
Maddie
I
a
spent
heart.
Valentine's Day with a bottle of wine and my boyfriend Bucky Barnes. I'm done. I'm done.
I
had
got,
to just
speaking of
keep it on
Valentine's Day, I got my mom and sister flowers, and they both loved it. I surprised my mom at work. She almost dropped the stuff she was carrying.
and
And
pulled out her mace.
my sister was at her friend. No. My sister was at her friend's, so I sat her flowers in a vase and sent a picture of it to her, and she posted on her Snapchat story. So that was nice.
I actually forgot I did get you guys Valentines, and they're right in front of me. If you want to see them, I'll share them live on the podcast. That just reminded me. I'm being
You're a
100%
day late.
sincere.
How'd you forget?
Well, I haven't seen you guys in person, and I didn't want to just like
Honestly,
tell you, hey, I
Jaylen's
got your
just so
Valentines.
bad at remembering dates, so that's probably why.
I am not. No. All right. Maddie, here's your Valentine. They come with tattoos too, so I'll show you the Valentine. There's your your
Cool.
Keep
Valentine,
scrolling. Oh,
and there's
I
your
only read the keep scrolling
your
part.
your tattoo, Hawkeye tattoo. And
Where are you
approved.
posting this stuff at? I can't see it.
It's in the Discord.
I'm filming it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to wait till the
Is
podcast
your
comes
video
out.
on? Because it's not for me.
Yeah, it's on.
Well, you'll just
see
have to
'em.
wait till the podcast comes
Yeah.
out.
It's not on for me.
Way to tell us
Maddie, it
20
has
plus
Ant-Man.
minutes into the podcast. You can't see Jaylene's screen.
She usually
Maddie,
has it off, doesn't she? Because I never see it on.
Maddie, it's got Ant-Man on it, and it says, Valentine, our friendship keeps growing. So, there you go. And then, I did have these prepared. Like, I had them written out, ready to go. I'm not just bullshitting on the spot here. And then, Tegan, this one's yours. I got you Sam Wilson's Captain America. You make my heart soar, Valentine. And then, I got you the matching Sam Wilson Captain America temporary tattoo.
Heck yeah. That's going on
So,
my
there you go.
chest.
So when I see you guys in
I'll
person,
save a spot
they're already
for it,
open
too.
now. But I did get you guys Valentines. So I
I'm
got
going to put it on my neck.
Burguy one too. This is Burguy's. This is Iron Man.
His favorite character.
So yeah. So happy Valentines, you guys. I didn't plan on doing that, but Matthew brought up Valentines, and I had the box of them sitting right in front of me. So I was like, oh, I'll give my Valentines out.
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up first.
Remember the...
Well, you brought up getting Valentines, so...
Remember the Valentine's Day where, Jaylene, you had a party and I made custom Valentine cards for everyone? And one
I
of
had
our
a singles
friends,
party.
I just gave him one, and it had the Patrick, I love you picture on it.
Yeah.
Classic.
I still have mine somewhere.
Wasn't yours Nick Cage?
Mine was
don't.
Nick Cage.
And
Yeah.
I don't think I can say what Matthew's was. Because I'm pretty
Because
sure
you
it
don't
had a
remember,
dictator
or
on it.
it's problematic. Oh shit! Well,
Oh, I remember it now. It was that
oh,
one guy, and the caption was, will you be mine, mine?"
Why'd you say it in
Something
that
like that.
accent?
oh,
Because the person in question was German.
moving on. Also, I probably had Avengers Valentine's that year too. So
Nerd.
Probably. Were those from the same pack? You've just had them this whole time?
no, my mom bought these for me.
Jesus.
Why would they? They got Sam Wilson Captain America. Come on, that's new.
Marvel's always
My
planning
my singles
ahead,
party,
so maybe they
my singles
sprinkled those in.
party,
Was over 10 years
my
ago.
singles party was from like
No, it would have been about 10 years ago.
I think exactly 10 years because yeah, it was probably a
Yeah,
honestly it was probably more than 10 years because
no,
I
'cause
think I was
I think Burguy and I were in college.
you're right I was
So it would have been 10 years ago exactly.
fuck that's crazy. That's actually insane. I was watching Infinity War today, and I don't mean to bring it back to that, but I saw the year on Disney Plus, and it came out in 2018, and I was like, "You're telling me that movie is 7 years old?"
Yep.
And that aged me. So
How do you think I feel seeing some stuff where it's like, oh, I remember this, over 20 years old? Ugh. Ooh.
it's crazy watching the NFL and like most of the players being younger than me. That's really hard to grasp. It's like
Miles
these are grown ass men. They're not younger than me.
Miles Garrett and I are roughly the same age.
Well, that's like DK Metcalf's, I think, a month younger than I am.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's a grown man.
I can't remember if I've said this on the podcast before, but Burguy and I were talking one time, and I was like, how does it make you feel that we're a decade older than people getting drafted into the NFL? And he's like, don't talk about that.
Gonna give Burguy a midlife crisis.
And then I said, how are you going to feel when the QB for the Dallas Cowboys a decade younger than you? You can't look up to them then like you
my
do with
desktop
Dak.
just went off. There we go.
Which I wonder if he's hung up the Dak poster I gave him yet, or if he still just sleeps with it at night.
We might have to.
I bet you sleep with it still.
Might have to check in with him on that one.
He doesn't watch the
Matthew,
podcast,
do you sleep
does he?
with your dark magician? Sometimes he
Huh?
does. It usually depends. Do you sleep with your dark magician girl blanket?
Oh, of course I do. Keeps me warm every night. Thanks, Stegan.
Hell yeah.
Yep, and there's Ryan.
It's so cool.
And
That
then,
might be the best gift that I've gotten anybody ever.
I think the clicker
are you
is
getting the
still
whole
out
tour?
in Plaid Couch Studio.
Oh.
Because I
Well,
was too
what can you do?
lazy to move it back in. And
Yeah, I
have
gotta
it,
do something with
still-
my I gotta do something with my background setup here and get better lighting in here. But
well, you're never gonna have that in your background. That's coming back home for season 2.
oh shit.
boy.
My goal for MPL is just to get more and more obnoxious, like with wrestling promos. Ooh, I'm gonna snap ya.
Jesus.
I'm gonna drop the Bowser's
I just
big
wanna, like-
blast.
I would just like to win one week.
It's gonna be.
I
a
don't even
while.
need to win.
No,
I hope
I
the
don't
very
think so.
first I hope the very first episode of season 2 I just fucking sweep. I clean house.
Hey, if you believe hard enough, it'll happen.
You guys are screwed when Mario Kart, Jesus Christ, when
Oh.
Mario Party 8 comes around. I'm just gonna warn you right now.
Yeah, because
I can't wait for Mario Party 8. It's gonna be fun.
after 2, I think the next one I played was either like the Superstars one or the one that we originally started for MPL, way before we started filming.
So you weren't like a Mario Party 8 kid. Bergen and I no life that game on the Wii back in the day. And also like Mario Party 6 was always my favorite as a kid. The one that was one of the GameCube ones. So
And for
but I haven't played 6 in forever.
well,
So that one might be rough.
Mario Party 2, one of my cousins had a N64 growing up, but since there were several of us around that age range, it was usually him, my older brother, another cousin who was the same exact age as that other cousin, and then I was like the rotating one, because if one of the older cousins was there, then they would play. If not, I got subbed in. So.
Oh shit. I didn't play Mario Party 2 until like we started hanging out with you because I think you were telling Bergen like, oh, it's the best one,
Yeah.
and then we played it. I'm like, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I'll give him that.
Didn't we have? Yeah, we did have.
We
one
play
night.
Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
I love Super Monkey Ball.
We had a night of Mario
I
Party
don't think I
2
ever played Super Monkey Ball.
where we had a friend just tell us what moves we had to make and all that, because we're like, oh, we're tired of
Yeah, I forgot about
Bergai
that.
or I winning, so what do you want us to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Matthew went rogue.
He defied the master and then got his ass kicked because of it.
Yeah.
4th place. I think that was the same night where we played a game where you and Bergai were actually trying and like we're really getting heated, and I somehow won. Like I got 1st place.
I mean, it probably happened.
It did happen because I was very proud of myself I think you guys were so mad at each other you kind of could give a shit less that I got 1st place.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my god.
Here's probably how it went down. Like, Bergai and I are just beating the shit out of each other, and then we both knock each other out,
Yeah.
and Jaylene's just over there, and the rest are like, winner!
I won! I won! That was a good moment in my life. It is a highlight. Even though you guys did not give a shit. So I have to savor those moments.
Yeah.
Like the one MPL when I got 2nd, when Bergai was like, you had won. It was the one that Matthew had predicted. He saw the future. And then right before we like get to the final standings, Matthew goes, did I get 2nd? Bergai goes, no, you didn't get 2nd. I got 2nd. And the victory screen came up, and it was like, oh no, Jaylene got 2nd.
That was probably my favorite ending to an MPL, because that whole one, I'm
it
like,
was so good.
oh, maybe this one gave me the minigame lead, and he kept going, no, no, no. And then finally that last one, I was like,
I need to see the.
Well, I also love
I need
that
to see
last
the
one,
detailed
too.
results right now.
I love that one too, because the last minigame is that tightrope one. And for that one, they just kept landing like a frame in front of me, and Bergai was getting so pissed.
That was
I think
some bullshit.
That's the most pissed I think Bergai's been in an MPL so
Oh,
far.
yeah.
Was that episode?
Because
it was so funny.
he needed
Well, and
me
then
to not
like he
win.
made that comment to Matthew. Well, he made that comment to Matthew where it's like, no, I got 2nd, but I was adding stuff up in my head, and I was like, pretty sure I got 2nd, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot
Yeah.
and then end up getting 3rd place.
Because I was right there with you. I was like, I thought she had more coins, and
Yeah.
you both had the same amount of stars. I was like, maybe I'm
Yeah.
misthinking though.
But
so.
that payoff moment though when he realized he got 3rd is so funny. It's like, I'm glad I kept my mouth shut. His realization just kills me every time.
And then the last one is just him wanting to burn the world down because I
Evil
had my
Burguy,
rookies in.
Evil Burguy is gonna be in season 2. That's gonna be a fun one.
I already have a bit planned in
Man.
my head for season 2, so we'll see how it goes.
Let's
I-
go.
I just want to win some. I don't even care about the bits anymore. I want to not play like shit this season.
Well, season 2 will be shorter because I believe there's only 6 maps instead of 8, so
Hell yeah.
everyone best bring their A game.
It'll be a fun one.
It always is.
I brought
as
my
long
A
as
game last season.
As long as the Elgato works.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't need to talk about that.
I already feel my blood
Can
pressure
I say
rising.
whenever we record games like that, and Tegan's like, we're at the end of it, he's like, all right, time to check the Elgato. I always get nervous.
Oh,
I'm like, oh
yeah.
no.
So do I.
Please
There's
be
a-
there.
Are you gonna say what?
There's a reason that palling around does not come back.
It did not want us to record palling around one day. Like, we first started.
That would have been a good episode too.
Yeah. And I got everything set up. You know, we were playing and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to hit record. That's on me. You know, we were only about 10
Well, at
minutes in
first
though.
we couldn't
so...
get. Well,
Well-
at first we couldn't even get the PSN to connect.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
You tell the story.
Yeah, so we were already battling that because we were recording out in my building, which the Wi-Fi is spotty. And for whatever reason, PSN decided you're not getting this today. So I tried moving all the gear as close to my house as possible while still being in OG Plaid Couch Studios. And then we finally got it. So I was like, all right, let's go. Camera's rolling, all this. And then I look about 10 minutes in, I'm like, fuck. I forgot to hit record on the Elgato because I was just like, we gotta go. We gotta go. So I hit it. And then something happened with it. I think an alert popped up or something. Where it was like, all right. Something went wrong. We're deleting all this footage. And then that's when I was like, all right.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, if only I had like security cameras, then we could have a compilation of every time the Elgato didn't want to work. And just see me like
Yeah.
walk away and being like, all right, just gonna...
You go into full in dad mode, like pissed off dad mode when that happens.
Hands on hips.
Like,
just
not the dad who will throw shit and like beat their kids, but like the dad who like knows when to take a breather. It's like you just don't talk to him.
It's like I sent you guys a TikTok today. What if D&D dad talked like baseball dad? I don't know if you watched it, but
I didn't watch it.
the kid like gets in the truck.
I didn't know
he's
you
like,
sent one.
the kid gets in the truck and he's like, all right, so you didn't use a single barrack or bard inspiration. You know he does 8 encounters, 4 roleplay events, and 4 combat events, and yet you went in there with 4 inspirations. You ended the night with 4 inspirations. What are you doing? What am I going to tell your mother? Do you want me to tell her you had a good game? Because then I'm lying to your mother.
Yeah.
It's like...
I did not see you send that TikTok. I need to watch it.
I thought I sent it, but my TikTok's been on something today, so...
Yeah, it's his TikTok. It's his TikTok, not the old man operating his TikTok account.
Yeah. Got put on my
My
ringer.
mom-
No, I think
when-
it's TikTok.
My mom, when I played softball, was somehow got like talked into being the softball coach, and like my mom and I are not athletic people, So, one, I don't know why I was on the fucking softball team. Two, I don't know why she was the coach, but whatever. But I never got like yelled at for having a bad game, but we did have if I had a good game, we got to listen to We Built This City by Starship and blast on the way home with the windows down. And that was so much fun. And I get so pissed when people are like, "Oh, that song's not even that good." It's like, but
it holds a special place for you.
after a good softball win, and you're like just driving through town with the windows down, holy cow, it just hits different. So shout out my mom. Starship rocks.
Honestly, I kind of look forward to the day my future kids are in like t-ball and all that. I won't be the head coach, but if they need a third base coach, I will be there. And then anytime a kid's rounding third, I'm just sending them home.
I'd be like lawn chair mom. I post it up at every game, and then I'll have the cooler, the snacks. Like I'll have like the Capri Suns and the ants on the logs. That'd be me.
That's perfect. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your kid will be on third base, and I'm just over there. What snacks did your mom bring today? Orange slices? Oh man. All right, so I'm going to send you home.
Fucking
get
bitch.
tagged out.
Like under his voice.
So, Maddie, would you coach any sports for your future kids? Because I don't think I would do what some people do and just, like, my younger brother is a coach for the school he teaches at. Yeah, which,
Okay.
you know, he was great at basketball, baseball, all that stuff, so it makes sense for him. But I think I would just be part of that group when my kids are young, and then let smarter people take over once it starts getting more serious. Would you ever do that? I know you're not a huge sports person, so.
Personally, I'd like to put my kids into t-ball and up there in baseball when they get to that grade. Because I always wanted to do baseball, but I was a little bitch when I was a kid and didn't want to get hit by the ball. Plus, I had asthma, so I couldn't run much. But yeah, I would probably coach t-ball, and depending how much they like the sport, I would coach baseball, I think, too. I would not do basketball or football because I would just be bored as hell.
Imagine Maddie being
be
like a football
right.
coach.
All right, good job.
I keep trying
Come
to
here,
convince
boys.
Bird
Good job.
Guy that if he and I are in like the same school district, he should go for the defensive coordinator position, and I'll go for the offensive coordinator position.
Oh boy, those poor kids.
That would be. Wait a minute.
All right, kids, we're
I
running a
think
Hail
you guys
Mary
can pull
here.
that off.
He said he's only running Tampa 2 defense, which I know, Maddie, you don't know what Tampa 2 is. Jaylene may? No.
Yeah.
It's essentially.
Sorry, my cat's meowing. I'm letting him in.
It's essentially just like a triangle type shape where they each have their own spot of the field.
You want to say hi? Say hi.
Is that
Say
the
hi.
pervert?
Hey, Piglet.
This is Piglet. He's got a foot fetish. Hi.
Piglet.
What do you look so scared for? He's camera shy. Hi. You being a good boy. Sorry, I heard him meowing outside my door, so had to let him in. Yeah, I was listening to what you were saying, Tegan.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't distracted. Sorry.
I would never let my pet in while recording.
Is it Gizmo steal the show half the time we film a podcast?
Yeah, because
Every time she takes up your whole camera space.
Because I have a futon right by my desk, so he can lay up here with me. And then yeah, lately he's been a real asshole, and like personal bubbles mean nothing to him now, because he'll look out my window here, or if I have.
I'm pretty sure the last time we recorded in person, we were like having a very insightful conversation, and he just waltzed in with your doormat into where we were filming. But yeah, I'm the one with the pet problem here.
Hey, he's the mascot of
We're
Plaid
pet
Couch.
friendly here.
Super pet friendly. It's
We're
just
pet friendly.
Right.
none of our pets would get along.
Well, I also have 2 cats that have like anxiety just as bad as mine. So
Well, it's like, I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but when I got Gizmo, I had a cat as well named Wheezy, and Wheezy was a very loving cat, super sweet, and it just got to a point where Gizmo was getting bigger, and they would play, but Wheezy would retaliate by like smacking the shit out of him, and Gizmo's like, "All right, we're still playing." But luckily, my older brother and his wife were living with me, and it was getting to the point where I was like, I'm gonna see if I can convince them to take Wheezy. But literally the day before, I messaged his wife, because I was like, I gotta talk to her first. She was like, I want to, if it's okay with you, can I take Wheezy and give her to my older brother as a Christmas present? And I went, that's perfectly fine. I still miss Wheezy from time to time, but it's like, she would have not. Yeah, she would have not been happy here. It's Gizmo's so sweet and loving. He just does not realize how big he is 99.99% of the time.
Well, one of our friends at one point had a kitten that they offered me that it was so hard to say no to, but it's like my cat is very finicky, he's very anxious, and yeah, I don't know if you guys remember Munchie.
Oh, fuck Munchie.
I would forget Munchie.
Munchie was a great kitten, very playful, but very, very ornery, and they called her Munchie because she would munch you. And I knew my cat that I had was like, would not deal, and it's like, I love that cat, but I can't take her. Sorry. I was waiting for the right one to come along to introduce to my cat.
You basically found his clone.
I found the carbon copy, yeah.
You went from Windows 95 to Windows XP.
Pretty much, yeah. So they're cute. I walked in. I got in the shower today, and when I was walking back into my bedroom, they were laying on my bed together, and Piglet, the older one, was like licking Donnie's head and getting them all cleaned up. They act like they can't stand each other, but then they do that shit when I'm not looking. I was like, yeah, you got me fooled.
Yeah, they have to put on a front.
Because as soon as he saw me,
he was like,
he got up and he laid on the whole complete other side of the bed, like he wanted nothing to do with them. And it's like, I saw it with my own eyes.
No, you didn't see nothing.
So they are funny. They're funny. So, but yeah, you kind of just know when the right ones come along. And you kind of have to know what's best for them.
Yeah.
Like in Wheezy and Gizmo's case.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I knew Gizmo would have gotten big eventually. It's just he grew so much within those first 3 to 6 months, where it was like, oh, shit. Because I went through...
You remember the time you brought Gizmo over to my house?
Yeah.
I don't think Gizmo realized I had cats.
Yeah.
Because the one cat just hid.
Yeah.
But then Donnie would not take his eyes off of him.
For
And
like
Gizmo.
the first 2 months of having Gizmo, I took him just about everywhere with me. Just because my older brother and his wife were living with me, but I did not want them to feel like he was their obligation. Like, I didn't want to get the dog and just be like, I'm still gonna go out late and do all this. Like, for the longest time, when I was potty training him, I would sleep on the couch in that area for the night. So for like 3 months, I did not sleep in my bed. I slept on the couch just in case he got up in the middle of the night. I would shoot up and just take him outside real fast. Luckily, that was during the summer months, so it wasn't like, oh, gotta get all
that would not
bundled
be
up.
fun in the winter.
Like now, where it's like, oh, I need to take him out in the middle of the night and just bundle up.
I've got both of them. Both my cats are in here now, so they're both just looking at me.
Aw, cuties.
This one won't let me. He doesn't like to be picked up, so he's not going to be probably featured. So, yeah. Well, when I got Donnie, he hid in my basement for like the first month and a half I had him, and I have this like little crawl space under my stairs in the basement, and like for a month and a half, I would just go sit underneath my basement stairs and like just either listen to a podcast or I'd take my Switch down there and I would just play a game, and I would just make sure he got used to me. And yeah, I'm talking about you.
Is he just
Things we do for our
He's
pets.
like, don't bring
staring at
up
you?
my past, Mom.
Yeah, he does have a staring problem. One of my cats has a foot fetish. The other one's got a staring problem. So what can you do?
The real incels.
Wait, don't mock my cats like that. Don't do that to them.
One just needs a fedora, the other a trench coat.
No, they're gentlemen. Leave them alone.
Or do you think they're the two cats in the trench coat and fedora? Just, ma'am?
Ma'am.
I was gonna make a BoJack reference, but I don't think you guys have seen that show.
Not
so
yet.
Never mind.
It's on my like to get to eventually, but it's like sometimes
It is really good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good.
It's a kind of a downer show, though.
The show I want to
So.
watch that I keep getting like YouTube compilations for is Ted Lasso. I've heard that's
I heard Ted Lasso is really good.
but it's
too.
on Apple TV, and I'm like, fuck Apple TV.
Yeah. I had that for a whole month. And then I was like, nah, fuck this. I had it to watch, what was that Tom Holland movie that I didn't like?
Cherry Bomb.
Sherry?
Oh,
Cherry. And then I watched whatever show that Chris Evans was in that's based on that book where his son is like accused of murder and Chris Evans is like a prosecuting attorney. It was fine. It was whatever. There's the only two things I watch on Apple TV, and I don't think it was worth the $5 I spent that month on it. So, but
It's
yeah,
alright.
Ted Lasso's been on my list for a while.
honestly, I may just look on like
My desktop
Amazon or
keeps going
something
black.
to see if they have it on Blu-ray.
Good point. It might.
Just because I did that with the Last of Us series. Because I watched it because I was bumming someone else's HBO Max subscription. And then they got rid of that, so I was like, oh, but I want to watch The Last of Us again. So I spent $8 on the DVD.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah. Now you own it.
Yeah. I did watch it, like, right when I got it, too. So it wasn't one of those where it's like, I really want to watch this, and then by the time you get the DVD, you're like, I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, when I got the DVD for Abraham Lincoln Vampire, you bet your ass I watched that right away.
You know, now that you mention that, for your guys' astrology podcast, I put the Abraham Vampire Slayer movie on there before I got to the section you talked about because I was like, I have a feeling this is getting brought up when Matthew brought up Abraham Lincoln, so I just threw that one
I'm
up
glad
there.
you did. I saw that. I noticed.
Just
I
like
noticed it.
when Maddie
Actually,
was
fuck, I want to rewatch that. I own the DVD. I just gotta go get it. It's upstairs.
just like when Maddie had
PCMC.
to bring himself up for being whatever sign he was. I had to put
A Sagittarius.
reverse Matthew up there.
Yeah, inverted.
That was a moment.
Don't you guys just love when I do stupid stuff with editing?
Honestly,
I do.
it is fun.
I appreciate it because you didn't have to do that, but you did, and I appreciate it.
As long as my PC
It's
lets
fun.
me
It gives
do
me something to look
stuff,
forward to.
then I will spend the time
Dude.
doing it.
My power director has been like run through the ringer lately. I don't want to like talk about editing, but it's like it's.
Our latest Hear Me Out, I was worried at one point when I was finishing it up that it was just gonna like I get to the end and then it was gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna close out.
Yeah, it did that last time I edited a podcast. So
Well, it's
It's-
strange.
it's so much fun.
I was making the thumbnail, and that software closed up on me when I was moving some stuff around, and that I don't think has ever happened before.
Yeah, I've never had that issue.
So I was
With
like,
that one.
oh no.
Time to send an email to Power Director.
Yeah, I got some words for him.
Fix your shit.
But I will also say,
Yeah, I don't.
go ahead, Jaylene.
No, that's okay. You go. Because I
Uh,
didn't have a complete thought, so you go.
Okay. The Hear Me Out video is the first one where I pose for the thumbnail instead of just getting clips from the video.
I was wondering that when you
Yeah.
posted it.
Yeah. Or
But I
like
wasn't
some
sure.
stupid selfie I
Yeah.
had on my phone that I made for a different project. Yeah, that one I was like, you know what, this would look good here, so I ran out to the green screens.
It's a good thumbnail. I like it. I
will
like
say,
who you included on the thumbnail.
spoilers alert for anyone who hasn't seen the latest Hear Me Out video. I really wanted to put Italy in it, but I was like, that spoils like
You can't,
too
nah.
much because the shock of that being the very last one.
It's so perfect that he got the last Hear Me Out pick because you can't go anywhere after you say Italy.
Yeah.
And I love
good.
because we all get it right away. Like, you could tell that it's like, oh, well, that just makes sense. Oh, fuck.
It's like that moment of silence because I chopped some stuff out of it just to make it a little quicker of a video. But there was a good like minute of
Right.
silence where we're all just processing it. Like, all right.
Well,
okay.
At first, I was kind of waiting for the punchline. And
Yeah.
then once I, like, actually realized that he was being serious, I'm like, okay, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense. So, I thought we had really good picks this time around. I mean, we did the first time, too, but it was fun. I
I'm
definitely...
just glad I had Hello Neighbor in there. That cracked me up.
Matthew's always got some weird fucking pick that just surprises the fuck out of me, and that was that one. Also, in the first Hear Me Out video, you said Matt Ryan is the only guy that you would go gay for,
Yeah.
but then you put Hello Neighbor in this one, so now you're already contradicting yourself.
America
I never said
Explained.
I'd go gay for him.
But if he's a hear me out,
Doesn't mean I gotta fuck him.
Yeah, Jaylene.
what are you gonna do with him?
Why is it always gotta be sexualized?
Yeah.
That's
Why can't
like
I
the
just
point of it.
appreciate a Why can't I just appreciate a man who combs his hair and takes care of his
But-
mustache and dresses nice?
That's literally the point of it. Hear me out. It's like, hear me out. He kind of. I'd do it. Like, that's how the hear me out started. Jesus fucking Christ, the origin.
We get it. We get
Oh my
it.
god. Oh my god.
All
People
right.
are gonna watch like our last 4 podcasts and think I'm just fucking perverted. I'm not. I
I
promise.
mean, they'd
I'm not.
have the right assumption.
No.
How many times did you get DP'd by Thor and I don't know who else? Captain America?
Too many. Too many. Did not like it. Would not recommend.
Oh man. No, but
I'm a one man woman, so just Bucky Barnes is enough for me. I don't need
Fair enough.
all that.
out of the
Fair enough.
hear me outs that we did for the last video, which one shocked you the most?
I already said
Italy.
the Hello Neighbor. What was it? The Lego Batman character you had.
Barbara Gordon?
When you said specifically in Lego form. But then
Commissioner Barbara
that was
Gordon.
another one. That was another one where it's like I kind of get it. She
Yeah.
kind of had a look in her face, and
Like,
I was like,
if
all
I was a
right, it
Lego-
kind of works. I felt like mine weren't as shocking this time. I kind of kept mine a little bit more mellow.
Yeah. Well, the Gonzo one was just like getting flashbang because it was that bright white background and then his suit, so it's like, ugh.
I love that picture of Gonzo. Oh boy. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Definitely.
What that nose do.
What's that nose do? I did think like the robot theme was a little weird, even though that wasn't planned.
Yeah, that
But
was
hey,
unplanned.
it worked.
but
Whatever.
I
I was thinking, and maybe I shouldn't say this in the podcast, but like maybe themed hear me outs would be fun.
yeah.
Like only pick people from a certain universe, or like
Mhm.
only robots, or only continents, only countries.
or make that a draft video. Pick the hottest countries, not the people living in the countries, just the countries themselves.
The actual, the landmass.
We going
Oh,
off
that would be fun.
like a topographical standpoint too? Like, goddamn, Montana's got all those mountains.
Has all those curves.
Oh my god, the Gulf of Mexico, look how wide that bitch. Oh my god.
Jesus.
The Gulf of Mexico, you mean
What's
Yeah.
the body of water?
Shut
in that-
up. Shut up.
I bet she swallowed a bunch of ships.
Jesus.
Some oil.
Have we talked about the draft video we did?
We can.
How fun that was?
Yeah.
We talked about that on the podcast.
We definitely want to do more.
I just really liked that video. Yeah, that was probably the most fun I've had rewatching like a Plaid Couch video. I just thought it was interesting. My favorite thing about it, there were a lot of good moments in it. I'm going on like 20 different tangents, but it's like, first off, one of my favorite things about it, it's like it had funny moments, but it wasn't like laugh out loud funny like some of our videos. It was also just like really fun to hear people's different perspectives about comic book heroes. But I loved the ending when you had everybody's like team pictures up, because everybody had kind of their own vibe going on with the pictures, like the different colors and stuff. And I'm like, why do these teams like actually really work? So I got attached to my team when I was making my list. I was like,
you
like
made it very clear to us. Like beforehand, you're like, if anyone selects my people, I will murder them.
I didn't say that, but
and
it was
then
probably close.
When you went on your Jane.
Jane Fury and the Phone Ranger.
I was so confused because I was like, these are who she's picking?
I stated it very clearly in the video. That's like, no, these are just the team organizers, like Nick Fury and Maria Hill esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I knew when we pitched that idea, I wanted to include the Phone Ranger, but like
Why?
he's in I think 2 or 3 comic books max, so it's like it wouldn't have actually been a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not cool enough to be Nick Fury, so it's like I can't do that. So then I had the idea. It's like, well, I'll be Nick Fury, and then he can be like my right hand man. He's my Maria Hill, and then I had to include that. So
I liked it. It was fun.
I had
was
to
funny.
crop out on that picture I showed. I had to crop out Riley from Hive Mind out of that picture because that's actually a picture of me and Riley when I met the Hive Mind boys. I had to crop him out and put the Phone Ranger in. That's how much I committed.
You did a good job, Jaylene. You did a good job
Thank
on
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was funny. Once it was like, oh.
But it is
I'm just glad
also
I got my boy Static Shock in there.
that
Underrated
was,
superhero.
that was a fun pick. So it was fun to see everybody picked.
Yeah.
There were a few people that I wanted to pick, but and I don't want to be like one of those comic book people because I read comics now, where it's like, well, actually in the comics, but it's like you start reading the comics and a lot of my favorite heroes are very problematic characters,
What?
very complex characters, it's what makes them interesting. But it's like
That's why Spider-Man's
Thor
such
does
a
some
hit.
crazy shit in the comics. Yeah, like Thor does some crazy shit in the comics. I didn't want him on my team.
Well, and there's like
Fucking
Iron
shit
Man.
up.
There's like a whole year arc where he's like battling alcoholism, and that's his main
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah. Well, and it's like that's the biggest reason I didn't pick Iron Man 2 is because he's like that in the MCU too. And I keep talking about Marvel. I'm sorry, it's like the only thing on my brain right now. But I keep seeing like on TikTok, a lot of people are still arguing about like Civil War, that movie that came out in 2016, and people are just like, I'll see people arguing in the comments about like who was right, Tony or Cap, and it's like you guys realize that's the whole point of the movie. It's like they both have valid arguments. Like that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
It's like neither one is 100% right, but it's like definitely his argument that it's like Tony is the more complex one and the one that tends. I mean, he's course correcting in that movie. He's fucked up a ton, and Civil War is him trying to course correct. And it's like, as much as I love Iron Man, I cannot have that on my team. It's going to cause too many issues. We saw it play out in the movies. It happens in the comics. Couldn't do it.
Yeah. But we definitely want to do more draft videos. We'll probably circle back around to doing superheroes and all that again. Because there's just so many. And I think it would be fun to, have those teams and then make it so we can't draft any of those people again and make completely new teams.
That'd be fun.
When will that get recorded? I don't know. Sometime. Mark it on your calendar sometime.
When we feel like it.
But
when we feel like it, when we can book Burguy.
Yeah. But that made me think about movie maintenance a little bit because that was the show I originally had when thinking of Plaid Couch. That was the thing I was like, I had all these ideas for movie maintenances and a spin-off of that, which will eventually happen sometime this year. Which I enjoyed doing the first one. I made some notes on how to improve for future episodes. I've told you guys this. It's a lot more nerve-wracking just filming by myself because you don't get that reaction from people. So you're like, oh shit, I can't tell if this is gonna land or not. But
Also, I think like the way we do comedy too is we very
riff.
much rely on like bouncing off of each
Hmm.
other. And it's
Yeah,
like when you're just doing a video by yourself, I can imagine
yeah,
that's a little jarring to not have that.
yeah. But that the concept of movie maintenance was something I wanted to do for so long. Um, but when that was originally planned out to be the first videos I made for Plaid Couch, I would be working on stuff, and Jaylene, I know you've talked about having similar issues. I'd start having stuff written and just be like, I hate this. And then I would just keep working on stuff and then keep scrapping it, deleting it, whatever it may be, and I would just burn myself out. So I was like, well, I don't want to start Plaid Couch until I have something perfect. So then we would have those discussions. It's like, hell yeah, let's keep pushing back, pushing back. Um,
Mhm.
so that's why I'm so glad we started with the Reddit videos at first, because it was like, are they perfect? No, the first two, we've talked about this plenty. We have one
Oh
tripod.
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but
The first one we didn't even have a tripod.
yeah, we had my
We had
fireplace
stacks of boxes.
and a stack of boxes. Um, but that just made it so much easier to be like, all right, it doesn't need to be perfect. And
Yeah.
after this, our first year of Plaid Couch, I was like, I I feel we are in a good enough space where I can begin to work on that and improve it, instead of feeling like every single one needs to be perfect, hilarious, meet this
Mhm.
time frame of a video. Because my original concept was to be like 5 to 10 minutes at most, and I was like, working on scripts, it's like I can't really get a whole lot in that time frame because I gotta explain things instead of being like, they should have just made a good movie. Easy enough.
Movie should have been better.
Easy
That's it.
enough.
That's the video. Give Mark Wahlberg a mustache, and the movie should have been better.
I still remember seeing that in
I like.
theaters. I wasn't happy.
I like the first episode of Movie Maintenance. I'm excited to see more.
Yep.
I'm with you on the script thing. I'm awful. I'm awful,
Mhm.
awful with scripts. I have a few that are done that I like,
Yeah.
but then it's like we don't have like the resources to actually film that stuff yet.
Yeah.
So
and
it's one of those things where eventually we're just gonna have to do it, but as of now we're not
yeah,
there.
we do want to make that a higher production show. It's just right now with
Yeah.
where we're all at, it's like
Yeah.
we have that on the dock to film. It's just
Hmm.
we want to make that a nice show
We gotta.
instead of just a Discord
Yes.
call.
But it is a big deal that I finally like wrote a script. Like I think I sent you the full script.
Yeah.
Well,
no, you just sent
I
me
can't
the
spoil
intro.
it, but it's like because I can't show you the whole script because then that ruins the integrity of the show.
Yeah. You
So,
you
but I
just
did
sent
send
me
you
the
the intro.
intros to the first two, I think.
Okay, and then
Nope.
sorry, my desktop keeps going black, and that's my lighting here. I have two lighting sources, and none of them are professional.
You just need to buy
But,
3
yeah, I
lamps
definitely-
like I have.
I have a lantern. That's how cool I am. I have an actual physical lantern that I'm using as a light.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. It's a good light, I think, for this. But I need to I gotta do something to make this more video friendly, especially when we film at night. And my lights are too yellow when I have my overhead lights on, so I don't know. I gotta figure something out. No one cares about that.
I like my LEDs.
But yeah, Jaylene, you wrote those scripts. And honestly, it's just getting to the point of showing someone else.
That's the hardest part.
That is honestly the hardest part.
Mhm.
And then getting their reaction.
And it was one too where it was like I was up till I think 4:30 in the morning writing scripts because I just couldn't stop thinking about shit, and then I kept thinking about it. But then the next morning I woke up, and normally that happens, and I'll reread what I wrote, and I'm like,
I hate
okay,
it.
this isn't bad, and then I worked through it, I pushed through, and I proofread it, and then I sent it to you, and I was like, all right. And I was just in my head, I'm like, Tegan's going to hate that. It's going to be bad. I knew you weren't going to be a dick about it, but it's like, oh, I'm going to get a lot of constructive criticism about why it's wrong, why it's bad. And you were like, I really like it. And then you gave me some pointers of just things I didn't think about. And I was like, oh my God, do I actually not suck all the time? That's crazy.
And then I think I even asked follow-up questions to get a better idea in my head on like what the set would look like and all that, just to better understand. So.
Look forward to that.
Yeah.
Sometime in the future, because I am excited for that.
Yeah.
And we have some other things in the works. Again, it's just budget and time and wanting to get the fine tuning correct.
Yeah. It's. I do like our Discord format. It makes it nice and easy for a lot of things, but
yeah,
we do want to have some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. And it'll be different too when the weather's nice and we don't, like right now it's like I don't want to leave my house. It's cold out.
Exactly.
There's snow on the ground.
Exactly.
I don't want to go film in Tegan's garage.
Here, my garage.
So once it's nice out, like I won't mind, actually getting into the studio and filming stuff in person. But this has been really nice. Like just, especially like, I know we filmed a few things on like Thursday nights even, where it's like you get out of work and just hop on Discord. That's really nice. I think it works for everybody's schedule as of now.
Mm-hmm. Because it's also that thing where it's like, oh, is anyone free in the next 15 minutes instead of having to block out times where you guys are driving to my place and then driving back trying to meet other obligations you have. It can just be like, hey, I'll be back home around this time if anyone wants to hop on. And then usually...
Also, like... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, usually we have an idea or two of what we're going to get done on Discord.
It's also nice, too, because I feel like the Hear Me Out format works really well with that, or like the Cringe Talk videos, and it's like, I don't think we would have done those if we only filmed in person. So
yeah, the Cringe Talk was the first one at least was a last minute thing where I was like, hey, does anyone want to film today? Because I think something happened with the original video that was going to be released that day or something like that, or the next day.
Was that the? I think I know what video it was that we were originally had on the docket. Between two I'm thinking of. I won't say them here, but...
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure if you say one of them, I'll be like, okay, yeah, it was that one. But Maddie was like, yeah, I'll hop on. So I was like, well, here's my thought.
That was fun, too, because I had no idea what it was literally until it released. I was like, all right, we'll see what it is. And I didn't know until I got the YouTube notification the next day. I was like, oh, we're doing Cringe Talks now. So.
And they did pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's either that one or the last one we did has the most views on our channel.
Yeah, our third one has our most views. I don't know if the second or first one has more views, but I think all three of those are our top 3 most viewed videos.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Pokemon Ask Me Anything's up there.
I love the Pokemon Ask Me Anything. It's so good. That's definitely the Plaid video that I could quote that one the most, I think, out of all our videos. I could just quote that all day.
I should just change the title to that to Tegan Gaslights His 3 Friends.
Oh, it's ghastly.
17 gasolines.
17 gasolines. That was so funny too in the TikTok.
Oh man. No.
Oh man.
It's already been a really good year, and
Oh yeah. And it's just gonna get better.
yeah. Every now and again we have days where it's like, I'm a bit exhausted. Can we maybe shoot the next day? And then we're all feeling refreshed and ready to go.
Mhm.
I think that's why I also like this format as well, because there are some days where it's like, oh, we do have to record today. Where this format's more of, I'm not really feeling it. Can we just pencil it for maybe later tonight or tomorrow? And it's like, yeah, sure. Why not? I'm not gonna be yelling at y'all yet for disobeying.
Yeah, I just want to play Marvel Rivals. We do that tomorrow.
We have been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, there are some nights where it's like, we really need to record something, but Marvel Rivals.
Let's play Marvel Rivals. There's 3 sectors of my brain right now, and it's work stuff, Plaid Couch, and then Marvel
Yep.
Rivals, and I do not have room for anything else.
Well, is it alright if we talk about this, Jaylene? If not, we can get this cut out. But the other day, you were getting some stuff done for the podcast, and you were getting frustrated, and I hopped on a Discord call. I was like, you know what? Just take a break. Let's play some Marvel Rivals, get some of that steam out.
Yeah. I was in that was the day that Power Director made me cry. Tegan straight up was like, stop editing, take a break, let's play some Marvel Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. So, and then even better, because I was like, I think I need a Dr. Pepper after this. And you were like, oh, I'm having a hot chocolate. And I'm like, you know what? Hot chocolate kind of sounds gas. And then I had a hot chocolate and I played some Marvel Rivals, and I did feel a lot better. But Tegan is probably the first and only boss I'll ever have who will be like, you know what? Just play some Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. We do not need to kill ourselves
game
over
is-
Plaid Couch, so
Um,
not till the
yeah.
money
It
starts
wouldn't
coming
be
in.
so bad. I just feel like the podcast, we've had nothing but issues after issue after issue. So, knock on wood. Hopefully this one, no problems.
Oh.
Got it.
Jesus
I thought
fucking
the
Christ.
ghost that unplugs Maddie's Wi-Fi was around him.
Had to
It's
find
not
that
midnight
wood.
yet. It's not
Exactly,
midnight
that's why I was confused. Maybe the
Yeah.
ghost was like trying to sneak around.
yet. Oh boy.
All right. Well, I think this has been a good podcast. A nice.
A nice chill podcast.
Yep. Maddie, any closing thoughts? No, he's sleepy.
He's weepy.
Yeah. Tell us who your favorite superheroes are, and who would you draft on your team? I don't know.
Fuck it. Do that. Do that in the comments.
Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe.
Tell us who
Subscribe and
you would
helps
do
out a
naughty
lot.
things with in Marvel Rivals.
Get freaky down in the comments.
Not too freaky. Not too freaky.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.